oh my gosh, that was so good and it wasn't recorded. I can't believe it. Why did I create Bad Widow? I created Bad Widow because after Dave died, I was absolutely devastated, and I had a really hard time even getting out of bed in the morning. And I looked around for resources for someone who was talking from this depth of grief that I was in the middle of, who had some strategies for managing the loss of memory and the feeling that my whole world had collapsed, and who had some idea about how to make decisions without a person who had my back for 25 years. And there was nothing. There was nobody speaking from inside that depth and intensity of pain that I could find. And so I started writing Bad Widow because I thought that maybe there were other people who were in the same boat that I was, who could not find the resources that they needed to help them through this kind of pain. And honestly, the stats on suicides for new widows, especially if they don't have children, are pretty shocking. And I kept thinking that my pain must serve some purpose. My pain must be a contribution to somebody, because otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of going through all of this and not having it be of service to somebody else who might be going through the same thing? So I started writing, I started talking, I started live streaming, I started developing resources and strategies. And I decided that Bad Widow, anything that I was going through, anything I'd gone through as a caregiver or as a widow, was fodder for talking about. So if I had experienced it, I had license to speak about it. And what happened is that there were a lot of people, as it turned out, who also had been unable to find resources from inside the pain. There was a lot of talk on grief, a lot of talk on loss, but the issue was that it was a little bit after the fact, or from the head instead of the heart. And I started talking from the heart. So that's why I created Bad Widow, to be a contribution so that my pain would serve. I also created Bad Widow selfishly to give myself a reason to get out of bed that first year. To be a model for, yes, you can get through this. Yes, it's possible to thrive, not just survive. Yes, you can make it through. And so Bad Widow was to disrupt those conversations about people who have suffered a loss being broken. Because I think that's a bigger conversation. We live in a world where the assumption is that circumstances say that we're broken, so we're broken. Nobody's broken. Nobody. And yet if you're a widow, you're very often treated like you're broken. It's not uncommon. And so that's it. Allison Penna, aka Bad Widow, and I will see you tomorrow.